You know how we occasionally, you and I, in our moments that are the intimate moments that we have shared, dodging all the cuckoo birdness and dealing with it as it in the Pez dispenser of lunacy that is the current political atmosphere. We sometimes will center in on like how fucking weird Donald Trump looks with his big bulging nunt and his weird crevicey face and all that shit, and just refusing to, just aging disgracefully. You know how we kind of deal with that. You know how we just kind of and where I've had to actually like warn people. Yeah, his herp fingers, his sif fingers, and all that shit. Oh yeah. Well, he's not alone, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tom Fitton. Now, Tom Fitton is not a lawyer. He's the president. He's the president of Judicial Watch. But I guess you don't actually have to be a lawyer to stalk justices, I guess. Is that the idea? He's just watching the judicial. He's not a part of it. He doesn't understand it. He's not actually, yeah. So, and I swear to God, all Lindsey Graham references aside, this motherfucker wears a lot of blush. Or he's got rosacea that's so bad that he tries to cover with base, like that it just bleeds through. It's super fucking weird. And every time I see him, all I can think is that old, like, I forget what movie it was in. It was like, whores use blush, ladies pinch. I think it was whores use rouge, ladies pinch. And the woman just started pinching her cheeks, whatever, right? That's what he looks like to me. He's like I always picture him saying that in a mirror right before he goes to an interview, because what the fuck? Right. Yes, rosacea does suck. And if that's what it is, and he's just covering it up, and just, dude, deal with it. It's okay. Nobody cares. But there's something really odd. Okay. So this is, I don't know, and you'll have to help me answer this. I don't know. Like, subscribe, give a like the show, like it right now, because we're gonna like it into popularity. We're gonna will it into being. All right. Now, stupid. This I don't know which part of this, the title of this video, and again, I don't pre-watch these things because why would I torture myself like that? I don't know which is funnier. The I don't know which part I enjoy more. One is, let me shrink this down. Get out of here. President Trump facing 730 plus years in prison. That's, I mean, don't threaten me with a good time. Meanwhile, Tom Fitton joins the Gorka reality check on America First with Sebastian Gorka. So the show is called America First with Sebastian, but Gorka really calls it the Gorka reality check. Fuck off. Reality check. Better check yourself. All right, here we go. I don't know what this is. Relatively short, I hope.
Who's your favorite fiction author? I don't have much time or patience for fiction.
Who's your favorite fiction author? I don't have much time or patience for fiction. Yeah, like fuck the genre of imagination. No, what?
I like to live in the real world, but
You're a supporter of Donald Trump. The real world, you think he's still blonde or whatever crusty orange that color that is?
Sometimes I'll dip into the likes of a Tom Clancy.
Dip into the likes of a Tom Clancy. Do tell. Do you at least give Tom a warning first?
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
Is that what you do? You dip into the likes?
Moon River.
What if you read a novel by the likes of Tom Clancy or...
I have. I don't have to what if it. I don't dip into authors. I read novels.
Jack Carr, and it's...
the only authors he's even aware of because branding.
Said, in America, the leader of the opposition, a former president, is facing more than 7 centuries in prison. We've got the tabulation, we've got the graphic. This is actually happening right now. From Georgia to Jack Smith in D.C., President...
I'll tell you what would happen. If I opened the book and it started there, And it wasn't like, well, the next 3 chapters are probably going to tell me what the fuck he did to be facing those kind of numbers. Wouldn't I? That would be sort of a crucial plot point, unless he's going to leave that out. But I think Clancy's too good an author for that. I think, quite frankly, if you open up a Clancy novel and it said, literally on the first page, the president was facing 717.5 years in prison, at some point, just to fill pages, you'd find out why.
Trump is facing more than 700 years in prison. If you read that in a fiction novel and you say, oh, come on, Jack. Oh, come on, Tom.
No, I wouldn't. If I finished the book and I didn't know why, if he'd had just blown it off, I'd been like, did somebody staple the first chapter of this book onto another book? What happened?
That's unbelievable. That would never happen. But it is happening.
Yeah, it is. It is happening. You want to tell everybody why? Like because it's not just the Jan 6 hush money case in New York. Okay, that's a little classified docs case in Florida. That's kind of important. The election interference case in Georgia. Yeah, sure. And then the Jan 6 case in Washington. Those are, there's your why.
How is that possible?
Well, there's a hush money case in New York. There's the classified documents case in Florida. There's the Jan 6 case in Washington, D.C. And there's the election interference case in Georgia. There's 91 counts. That's how it's possible. You know how it becomes possible? Is you take all these things and you add them up, which someone has done for you, apparently.
Well, let's ask a man who has fought corruption in this stinking city, this swamp that is Washington, D.C.
Where? At Sephora?
For decades.
Where has he fought corruption? How has he fought? You mean he's tweeted areas where he thinks there's fucking corruption and there ain't?
Fearless head of one of the most important organizations fighting for the truth.
Well, it's actually easy to be a fearless head of an organization when your organization isn't actually engaged in anything meaningful.
Organization is Judicial Watch.
It's like fearless masturbator Tom Fitton. I mean, that's basically it. Never afraid to be criticized as a lover. Fearless masturbator Tom Fitton.
And he is Tom Fitton. Happy New Year, Tom Fitton. Welcome to the Gorka Reality Check.
Hey, Seb, I appreciate that generous introduction.
The other thing, Gorka, I'd appreciate if you could send over some of that base and rouge.
Well, it's totally deserved. So you've been doing this for many, many years now.
And by the way, you've been doing this for a long time and had zero impact on the real world. How's that? What does that feel like? It's because it's interesting because it's something I will never be able to understand. I'm so curious what it feels like to do something every day, all the time, and have it absolutely have zero fucking impact on you. Oh, thanks for the super chat, $7.17. That's a great super chat. One for every year Trump is gonna spend in jail. There you go. Yeah, I most of us will never know what it feels like to be Tom Fitton.
Judicial Watch needs to be supported by all of our Newsmax listeners and viewers.
Supported doing what? I mean, how much does it cost to tweet? I'm serious. How much does it cost? What's the business model of this motherfucker half-ass reading a bunch of articles on I don't know, legal papers that come out, whether they're indictments that have come down and the paperwork around those, the affidavits that are with them, Trump's legal responses, how much does it cost Tom Fitton in time during his day and work effort to thumb through those things just enough to get him completely fucking wrong?
Can you tell me something? Did you ever think, after what you've been doing for decades,
that it would not only not help, but possibly have made it worse?
That we would be where we are today with political prisoners after...
We don't have political prisoners.
January 6th. 250,000 illegal surveillance wires against innocent Americans.
Yeah, no, they weren't 250,000 illegal surveillance wires. He's asshole. If you got two devices on you while you're storming the Capitol and you're live tweeting at Facebook, or you're live streaming to Facebook and you're tweeting at the same time, that's they're going to have 4 warrants specifically for each part of where your incriminating evidence is, and their legal reason for doing it is you breached the fucking Capitol grounds over the bodies and bones of police officers. Shut the fuck up.
And the leader of the opposition facing 700 plus years in prison. Did you expect this?
Do you expect him to live 7 more years? I think is the other thing.
No, I knew we were sliding in that direction. Remember, you had the IRS being used to suppress Obama's political opposition in the run-up to his re-election. That's one way to steal an election in plain sight, in my view.
Sure, go with that. Yeah, that's a winner. Yeah, asked and answered. to use a judicial term.
And then it metastasized during 2016. They thought they could misuse the agencies again to
they didn't
try to rig another election. It didn't work out the way they wanted it.
Here's the thing. They didn't actually do that. They did not. He won because of fuck-arounds and lame-os in 3 separate states, and 75,000 votes gave him 3 electoral college wins in 3 states. That was it. He lost fucking 3 million votes. He lost the popular vote by 3 million votes. It is not surprising that after his 4 years in office, that Biden got double that, because people were like, holy shit, fuck this guy. I didn't take it seriously. And I got news for you. In this cycle, women, younger women voters especially, who might have been tap dancing around this shit, are gonna bring their vote. And the men who love them, by the way, I might add.
So they're
going to bring their votes.
Began a seditious effort against Trump. So I guess when you follow sedition with mass prosecutions of your political enemies,
well, you followed the sedition he attempted.
In the next administration, I guess it shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But when you talk about hundreds of years in jail for a political opponent of an administration,
yeah, that's not their fault. That is, I don't know why he's singing. I don't know anything about you. So, yeah.
Moon River.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. The Biden had nothing to do with how many years this fucker is facing. That's Trump's fault. That's the severity of the cases against him. This isn't petty bullshit he can pay a fine on anymore.
Or in the case of Fulton County, Georgia, you have this terrible corruption at the meta level, right? Targeting Trump.
No, it's not terrible. I don't give a shit if they knock boots, and I don't even care if Georgia decides she was spending money taking her boyfriend to the beach in the middle of all this shit because the stress of going after, using a case against the first fucking ex-president in our nation's history was getting to her. She needs a goddamn vacation in the middle of it. And also, what's she going to do? Find more evidence? The motherfucker recorded the phone call himself. He's there. It's him. There's no question. It's just a matter of getting the evidence in front of a jury. It's not whether the jury will hear something that's true or not true. Reasonable doubt is out the fucking window.
But also this base personal corruption. You've got the combination of like Russian absurdists who covered the Soviet oppression of dissidents with Tom Wolfe's Bonfire of the Vanities.
Okay, so I get it. So you pre-tape these things, and then you're just using both of those graphics to sell us. You're showing us physical renditions of his analogies,
yeah,
which suck.
And
also, what's with the creepy fucking serial killer breakfast picture behind you? Who the fuck stares at a picture like that? Are you in a hotel at the omelet bar? Is this what Mar-a-Lago calls art? If it is, they owe Hunter Biden an apology.
Of corruption in our big cities, all coming to a head to try to destroy our republic.
Well, let's talk.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, look, crime rates were up, but they're like 90s issues, but 90s level. But nobody was saying during the 90s when a lot of this shit was popping off that they were they were putting George H.W. Bush in office to destroy America. While that was fuck off.
Talk about that, Tom. Let's talk about. You mentioned Fannie Willis.
That's good. With the over talking, I like though. You guys should do more of that.
Yeah, let's talk about Fannie Willis and also Letitia James, Fannie Willis's boyfriend, who she gave $700,000 to from taxpayer money.
Well, no, she didn't give it to him. She paid him that for work that he did.
From Georgia. He visits the White House on numerous occasions as her newly anointed chief Trump prosecutor. And then we have not just that headline.
Because they've got to let them know in person what they're going to do and give them a heads up.
About him, about Fannie Willis's, hitman, lover boy. But we have
hitman, lover boy.
Letitia James from the state of New York doing what? Visiting the White House.
Yeah, she's the attorney general for the state of New York. Are you nuts? They all visit. All the attorney generals, and multiple times, with the exception of Ken Paxton, maybe.
And being listed on the visitor logs.
Yes. What a shock. What an amazing conspiracy. By the way, can we see the Trump visitor logs? How about that, dumb fuck? I'll give you that you can just make up whatever the fuck you want about what was said in the room on her public visit to the White House when you talked to Trump because you were in the administration, and I'm sure you could find a copy of them somewhere. They're probably, I mean, you've got the combination to the lock on the shitter at Mar-a-Lago, clearly. Walk in there and get a copy of the visitor logs. And while you're at it, I want to see the flight logs for his airplane. And if not, and along with that, every fucking plane that has landed or taken off from Little St. James since fucking 1986.
Tom Fitton, what is an Atlanta prosecutor and a state of New York law enforcement official doing visiting the Biden White House?
If I may. One second. See everything's everything's about the mayors right now. Well, I'll give you this example. Here you go. This is from the Hill. I already showed you guys part of this, but if I may, well, no, let's go to here. This is the watch live. Biden welcomes bipartisan group of mayors to the White House. This is a good example. Why is he meeting with Democrat mayors? Because he's meeting with Republican mayors too. Why is he meeting with AGs? Because he meets with the AGs from every state, especially the big ones that are national security issues. Like New York. Just throwing that out there. Okay.
Explain that to me.
Well, those are the sorts of questions American citizens should be asking.
Gorka's not an American citizen, I guess. Then fuck him.
I think there's no good answer to them.
Sure, there is. He meets with. First of all, the AG meeting with the AG from New York State. Anytime after 2001 9/11 might be a good idea. Whoever the fuck it is. I would be more concerned if you didn't meet with him. Secondly, meeting with Fannie Willis's team because they are prosecuting the former president and giving them a heads up is very smart. It doesn't, and like, it could even be that the Biden administration was like, could you guys just wait on this shit until after we win the election and stuff? Like, nope, we're gonna go after him. Okay, well, good luck. And they're gonna need access to materials, and only the president and the vice president technically can give it to them.
And maybe there is a good answer in this sense.
I think I think all of mine were really good.
It was some sort of broad public event, and they were just one of hundreds of people there. But the other information suggests that there were more detailed meetings, and
the other information, what would that be? You just saying it? Him just saying it? Motherfucker! Like, seriously, I can with a push of the button, I could show our chat room on this. This is not that hard. I could show the chat. See a little button right there. They just showed the cover of Tom Wolfe's Bonfire of the fucking Vanities, but this dickhead is like, the other information points to, why don't you put that up on screen, asshole? Let me see it. I like information. You guys don't you like information? It's fun. Information's interesting.
Question is, in addition to what was going on with the White House, what was going on with the January 6th committee?
Yeah, I don't know. They were handing you your ass.
That Grump committee under Nancy Pelosi.
Grumpy. Don't make a grumps.
Pelosi and the Biden Justice Department. There's a cabal. It's
a cabal. Shut the fuck up. Cabal. Why don't you just call him a coven at this point? A cabal. Gargle my cabal. What are you talking about?
It's a national Democratic Party conspiracy.
Why would the National Democratic Party have to conspire? They're the same party. You don't have to. A conspiracy is called that because you breathe together. It means you have to whisper close to each other. It's about whispering a plan. Democrats don't have to do that. They have a platform. They speak openly. That's the point.
To try to turn this country into a one-party state by jailing Biden's number one political opponent. And
why would that stop Republicans from existing? I'm dead serious. How would that? Wouldn't that just like give Nikki Haley and Chris Christie sort of like an automatic leg up in their own party? Why would that destroy their party to get rid of Trump? Seriously. Is this just them admitting this is a fucking monarchy? That's what they're shooting for? That this is just like, a bunch of people who think the sun shines out of Trump's ass and they're all begging for a tan? Why would jailing him get rid of the Republican Party forever? Because you guys will still vote for him? Because he's still representative? Because you're still chasing this pussy-grabbing fake billionaire? And if that's the case, how's that on us? How's that on Democrats?
We're just filing an amicus brief on this issue today, trying to take him off the ballot. And so if I were...
Why are you guys filing an amicus brief trying to take him off the... I'm confused.
Judicial Watch, as you know, Seb, we do.
Also, that's orange. Back the fuck up. That's some orange right there. That is just, watch this.
Filing an amicus brief on this issue today, trying to take him off the ballot.
That's, I mean, he held up his arms outside the courtroom the same day this was taken, and his arms are like white as fucking snow. And his face is that's orange. That's not lighting. The blue in his suit is blue. Everybody else looks normal. Nobody else in there looks orange. You're just fucking orange. Why do you make yourself orange? You fucking tangerine.
And so if I were, Judicial Watch, as you know, Seb, we do our independent investigations. We're going to be asking and suing for documents about these communications we're talking
Jesus Christ. Here's a good idea. Sue for a copy of the Constitution and then read the fucking thing.
About. But where's Congress on this? Doesn't Congress...
I'll tell you where. They're avoiding it because they know they don't have the votes to keep him on the ballot because he has to clear the 60% threshold in the House and the Senate. And they're concerned that even their own party, Republicans, won't vote to keep him on the ballot.
Congress have an interest in the effort to undo a Republican form of government by local prosecutors in league with the Justice Department, in league with Democratic politicians in the states?
And 20,000 leagues under the sea?
I would think so. I'd haul.
How many leagues do we have to go deep undercover? How many leagues are there? Because once I get to minor league, I kind of lose interest.
In the White House count.
Is he on the Pee Wee League? Is that what we're saying? So there's like presidential politics. That's the real deal. That's the National Football League. That's the NFL. And this asshole is what? Flag football?
Office. I'd haul in Justice Department prosecutors. I'd haul in these prosecutors in Fulton County, the Attorney General of New York, Alvin Bragg, the Soros-backed prosecutor in New York, who's also trying to jail Trump. Instead, they're just figuring out ways of how to keep the money
not just trying to jail Trump.
I do. I like it's more of the overtalk. That's good. It's good stuff. So it's a good way to end the clip too. It's good. These guys are professional. I wish I got to talk to Tara. We need to do more over talking with each other. I know some are like, how is that possible? It is.
Yeah. Not just trying to jail Trump, individuals who campaigned for their positions on jailing President Trump.
And won. They won. The majority of the voters went, yes, I kind of don't care if you do anything else, but that motherfucker, right? I don't know why they think this is a defense.
That's how corrupt these people are. Please follow Tom on social media.
No, I'm not going to pass. By the way, chat, you're wonderful. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. I think how are we doing on likes? How are we doing on likes, people? I don't want to call you on the carpet, but this is some serious shit.